All right, so welcome to our NutriTalk call on Friday, March 27th. This is Gert and Uta from Nutri Alliance, and this is for all the live viewers we have on the call and anybody who is listening to the recording later on. So I'm going to give a quick introduction of the Nutri portal. And Kate, I know you've been to the booth at the conference. You may have seen some of this already. At any point, because so far it's just you, just stop me and ask any questions. Or if you feel more comfortable, just put questions or remarks or anything into the text window, and I'll address them.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. And I'm not going to mute anything. You don't have a dog or a dishwasher going on in the background, so it's pretty clear. If I do hear any background noise, I am going to put it on mute, and then you can still unmute yourself. But so far, I'm not doing that. Okay, so let me start. Again, we have this goal to come up with a complete solution for nutritional therapists. The issues, the challenge we all go through is we are on the one side, we're the practitioners, we have all this knowledge, and on the other side you have the client. But there is this very lengthy paper process in between that is not efficient, and it's taking a lot of time. And we were really, when I graduated last year, I said, I am not doing that. I'm not spending half the time in my practice just sending out things and making folders and charts and spending so little time, as a comparison, very little time with the client. So the goal was really to switch from paper to digital and to convert this lost time into paid time. So we wanted this whole paperwork stuff to be digital. We wanted it to go automatic. And we also wanted to, once you graduate, you disconnect from the NTA network that we get with our school. And, the forums and the, questions you can ask each other, all that's gone. So we wanted to reconnect people as well. So that was one of the secondary goals we had. So the portal, the Nutri Alliance, is really a place online where both the client and the practitioner can connect. And you can see information, and we'll walk you through that a little bit more. The founding team, it's Gert and myself, and Gert is on the line here. He's in Belgium, and he is the dream of every NTP, because I just say, I want this to happen. We need this to happen. I imagine it to be like this, but I have no idea how to get there. Everybody needs a Gert. So luckily I found a Gert, and I've known Gert for many, many years. And when I started this, I knew that I needed somebody like Gert, and I didn't actually know I was going to inspire Gert to come on board, but he did, and here he is. And maybe you want to say a few words, Gert?
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, good morning. So good morning, Kate. Uta and I, we go back 20 years, pretty much, is how we go back. And it's really fun working with Uta, and we both approach issues from a different viewpoint, and with the necessary cooking, so to speak, we always come up with something fun. That's what we've been doing ever since we started working together. And also in this case, the Nutri portal and the whole Nutri site concept and everything with Uta's ideas that she comes up with, and then the technology that I provide on how to make it happen. It's a really fun way of working, and we're hoping that you'll like the product.
So there's always a lot of back and forth between us, like would be between any NTP and a technology person, because we know what we wanted to do, and they have to figure out how does this work technically. So luckily we have Gert. And we wanted a holistic solution. So it's not just about the individual practitioner connecting with all of their clients and all of their clients connecting back to the practitioner through the Nutri site, which is a complete website that comes with the portal. The other side of this is for all the nutritional therapy practitioners and the consultants to connect to each other and to the industry. That means continued education, other courses that we are always looking for. We actually have this plan to provide a complete platform for educators on our platform as well, so you have access to those educators. You have access to other members on the Nutri Alliance platform, and as they grow, this is going to be a really good forum. And you have access to the resources in your store that our members are asking for. So I ask them, what stores do you want in your store? What kind of vendors do you want in there? And so I go out and make those negotiations so that, for example, if we have the biotics store in our holistic site, then everybody could get a copy of that store. Did you have a question on that?
Yeah, I missed the last part of what you said. Everybody could get a what? A copy of that store?
Yeah, so what we are planning to do is every website, every Nutri site has its own store. So you get your own store on the website. Right now, the store is empty. You fill it with whatever you want to put in your store. But the plan is for us to deliver this store to each of our members with already some stores in there that you may select to have in your store. So our members tell us, we really would like, biotics to be in our store. We really would like green pastures to be in our store, and so forth. So
I see.
Those are hard negotiations to make for an individual NTP. But as a group of NTPs, if I go to, biotics and say I've got 30, 40, 50, 100, 200,000 NTPs who are going to get this in their store, I have we have much more power as a group because it's very hard to get, biotics in there, as we know. They don't like to sell things on websites. So that's the plan, but we need to get to a critical mass of members to have that in place. And we are starting to work with one store, and we're actually just starting to work with a store. So in the next few months, there's probably going to be the first store to choose from, and each individual NTP, NTC, of course, gets their regular commission from that. What we want to take away from you is the hassle of getting this negotiated and getting the things on your site. So you would actually have it on your site, and you make the relationship and the contract with the vendor, and you have that regular relationship with the vendor, and it would be a drop ship arrangement. So you don't actually do the shipping. They do the shipping, and you get your commission from that.
Okay, so each website, each NTP's Nutri Alliance website is not necessarily customized as far as that goes, the store options. That's something you're really working on kind of as a whole to make every NTP's website with you the same in the accessibility to the products, right?
Yes, if you choose that. If you choose it. If you say, I don't want any of these vendors, if you don't want any of the vendors that we have figured out relationships with, you don't have to. You can have your own store completely with your own things in it. So it's your choice.
Okay. So in addition, could I also do it the other way where you're working on, building your contacts and putting your people in there in the stores, and then could I also add a few more just custom to my website?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how everybody wants to use it. It's really whatever happens on the Nutri site it's your site. We're giving you options to put in there. You choose which options you want, or you choose that no, I don't want that. So it's really, we don't push any one way. We just want to figure out a holistic approach and give you all the tools in there. If you were to buy the individual tools that we have put together, and you'll see what they are, it would be thousands and thousands of dollars, and no individual NTP could afford that. So we have kind of put this upon us to create it, and for a very high cost, and giving these, or selling the same platform to everybody for a much lower fee. But you still have, you can design it whichever way you want it. You can have whatever domain name you want, and we're going to get to that. But it's really, it's just options, but we don't make you do it in a certain way.
Okay. I'm looking at the main website here, and I'm not seeing a category for store or products or something like that.
Yeah, you're probably looking at our NutriAlliance.com website, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's our kind of holistic website that markets the alliance to individuals, to NTPs, and to everybody as a whole. But it's not the copy of the website that you're going to get for your own website. That has different needs and different functionalities. So I'll show you that.
Okay.
Here's just a quick view of our founding members. We work with a group of founding members, a few over 30 people. We worked for them for about 6 months as we were developing the solution. So we have a lot of input from people who are actually using it. And they also went through a testing stage with us. So all these people are real. They're setting up their websites as we speak, and we'll show you some of those. But this is not just, Gert and me doing this alone, although we did do a lot of the work ourselves. We have a lot of input from existing NTPs. And then, Gert, did you want to add something? No? Okay. There are so many member benefits. I am not going to go through all of them. When you click, we have this on a page on the NutriAlliance.com website, all the things you get, your own website, choice of template, the portal, the site security, digital forms, the live calendar, event planning software, the maintenance of the software because it needs to be updated constantly, the web hosting, emails, pay plans, software, resources like all the handouts in editable format, recipe software, the NutriMarket, which is the store, the e-training software, online tutorials, access to branding resources. We actually help drive business to your site. We offer regular webinars, have special member forums, and a social platform just for our members. And that, again, is on the Nutri Alliance site, but it's only visible when you are signed in as a member. So there's a lot more content on that NutriAlliance.com site, but not visible to you right now as a non-member. We are soon installing newsletter software, and we have ongoing education courses. So that's a lot. If you were to develop this on your own, it would simply be not, financially feasible. We really want everybody to win. The individual, your client, functional medicine as an industry, who we're going to market the alliance to, the individual practitioners, educators who the practitioners want, and educators who want access to people like the NTPs and NTCs. We also want to connect nutrition schools to give them a platform that works for them, and health communities that need a solution in nutrition that NTPs can develop, and suppliers. So really we want to put everybody together, all these loose ends that are very time consuming to connect. We want to give them a platform to connect. And that's really the much bigger picture that we're looking at. Now, the Nutri portal, this is just a quick picture of the portal, and you probably saw me showing it at the trade show, but there is this practitioner website that has all the functions on there to get the information from the clients. So the intake forms, all the electronic forms, they're already in there, but you can change them. You can add new forms. Again, it's your choice what you do with this and how you run your business. And then clients, your clients become members on your website, and they become members to your portal. So that's your business, what you do with that. And the portal itself looks like this. Let me give you a quick overview. So every portal has a center area where all communication takes place. So we recommend that you don't keep doing emails and texts, because once you have a number of clients, you can't find the information. Oh, they sent an email here and a text here and they made a phone call here, and it's not connected. We recommend that all communication goes on in the portal, and you'll see everything in, just like Facebook, the newest message is always on top. Then you have your client data information. This is basically the right side of your intake form, and I'll show you that live. Then you have the left side of the chart, which are all your recommendations. You have a client calendar, a place where you assign all the resources from recipes, handouts, audio, video, and so forth to the client. Then you have the NutriMeter, which is a great little tool where you can show how much improvement the client has gone through and how far they still have to go. So it's a motivator. And I'll show you that live also. The sessions folder here is where you can summarize the sessions you have, and you can also put in a recording. And the social, you can actually a social network, different clients or group classes that you hold, so they can all connect here. So that's the basic overview, but I'll show you the live portal as well. Two kinds of memberships are available right now. The $450 one-time setup fee that sets you up with your website, and then the $99 monthly, and then we have a student membership where they pay $39 a month, and as soon as they start their business and publish their website, they are up there. They just start paying the $99 monthly fee. That's pretty much it. I would like to show you a demo now. If you have any questions beforehand or whenever they come up, just let me know. So I am here now. No, that's not the right website. I need to go here. So I am at the portal. So now I'm on our demo. Yes.
I did have a quick question. Just how much does a client member pay for their membership, or
it is up to you. Yeah, it is up to you. Again, we have certain recommendations, and I have certain things that I am doing because I have a website on that platform as well. I would recommend that, and it really depends. And let me go back to this question when I show you what the client actually gets, because then it's like, okay, what is that worth, and how can you add value? Because we really want, you know how there's so much time in a practitioner's time when somebody calls you, somebody sends you an email, somebody has a quick question on the text, and you can't charge them for that. And there is no way to really charge people for 5 minutes here and a little email there. So and my clients always say, well, can I pay you for this? This is valuable to me, and how do I pay you for this? And I said, I don't really know. It takes more time to process that payment than this is actually worth, so let's not even go there. So if you, for example, have a membership for the client where they have access to their portal and all the information you have put in there for them, a $9.99 charge a month is not that much. And then maybe you add in, okay, you can send me this many messages a month, and I'll reply to them. Or you can add in, okay, every Monday I do a webinar for an hour, or every Wednesday I do a group call with questions and everybody can call in. And so you add things to the membership. And you can say, you know, for $19.99 a month, you get a new recipe every day, every week, whatever you decide. So you can add value to their portal access, and you can keep working with them, but not necessarily in the, okay, 1 hour session here and 1 hour session there, but it's really at the time between the sessions that a lot of the change happens. So, but let me go over that again once I've shown you everything that's in there, so you can see what kind of value this actually would mean to a client. Okay. So I'm just going to, as an NTP, you have all your clients in here. I'm clicking on Sally because I think you know Sally. And if you wanted to start a live chat, you would click this here, or you can just send email or messages down here. But let me start how you would start with a client. They would fill out on your website, they would fill out an intake form. And the intake form then automatically goes into the form section. And you would then select, okay, they have only filled out one form so far, and here it is, and let me look at the form. And then you would see, these are the questions, these are the answers here. You would see the completed form. And again, this is the basic NTA form that we took. We made a men's, a woman's, and we made a children's form out of it. All the answers are here, and since you can't handwrite into this document like we are taught at NTA, you can just put your notes up here. So this window stays up on top as you scroll through the entire form. You can put intake thoughts, and then you can just put in your thoughts. You can save the notes, get a window that it's been saved, and then the notes are visible in the all notes section. Here are the thoughts. So all your notes over time as you work with this client will be saved by date, and you can always recall them. If you just want to write a note while you're having a session with somebody, you can simply type it in here. And you can save it, and it's going to be in the all notes section. The food preferences here, that's actually a new section. I'm sorry. We have added that because some clients simply don't like certain things, and we didn't want to assign recipes that have ingredients that they simply don't like or that they're sensitive to. So you can enter all those things here, and these words will be cross-referenced with the ingredient list in the recipes that come preloaded. Mm-hmm. But you can also, of course, choose. I'll show you that in the recipe section. You can also select a number of different diets, including dairy-free and gluten-free and so forth. So that's just in addition to that. These are just simply food preferences. Food journal is also electronic. So the client would actually go in, they see almost all the same areas, but they don't see your private note and they don't see the NAC. If something is underlined, it means they have filled out the food journal for that day. You can look at the food journal and you can write your own comments right in here, and that would be saved, and the client can see your comments. And the functional evaluation, if you do those, you would simply upload a PDF form from your computer. So you would simply, browse and find it on your computer and upload the file, and they would be saved here. And it's the same with the NAC. The NAC is not yet integrated into the portal. It is run as a separate, piece of software. Of course, our goal is to have it integrated, and we are working with NTA to do that. So right now, it's not yet integrated, but there is room where you can upload that into this section. Okay. Then, of course, here are your notes. There's one nice feature here. If you want to discuss the case study of a client, like if you want to send the case study to somebody via email or via the social network that we give you, you of course want this information to be without personal information, so no name, all this information, no name, no contact information. So you can simply create a case study. And here's the case study. So everything is here. You have the age, you have the likes and dislikes, and you can send the case study to anybody you would like to share it with. So this is especially important if you are just a new graduate and you want to discuss a certain case with somebody. So that's the right side of your chart, this part here. The left side of the chart are all the recommendations you make to that particular client, and that is made up of the goals you set, the nutrition plan you set, meal plans, and supplements. And the second area here is something that we've added to this, and these are specific assignments you may want to give to the client. And if you, for example, like I do this with my clients, where I say, I want you to clean out your pantry, and this is how you do it, and this is by which date I want you to do it, and then send me a photo of your clean new pantry, or go to the farmer's market, or make broth, or whatever it is. You can assign certain tasks, and then they actually have to do something. Motivates them to do something. Do you want me to go through these plan elements here? It's very much like our outline from NTA. It's just in different sections. And if you as a practitioner give a long-term, short-term goal, there's also a feedback section for the client, so you can see what they think, or if they have any feedback on that particular goal, which might be helpful. The nutrition plan is the area where you would articulate your nutrition plan or upload an existing folder or file with a nutrition plan, and this these boxes will be expand as you enter more text, and again the client has a feedback section here. The meal plan area is where you can actually enter a suggested meal plan. You can save that meal plan by a specific name, and then recall it for other clients as well. And then the last one is the supplement section, where you can add supplements and indicate when should they start, what is it called, where does it come from, what is it for, how long should they take it, how much, and any kind of notes, and what time of the day they should actually take their supplement. So you can just add on to these as many as you want. And so those are the we call it a strategy, where they see all the suggestions that you made. In the calendar, and here there's no appointment here, but if they go and make appointments for the future, and the next appointment would always show up here on top, and then they can go through the month and see whenever their next appointment is. And this is cross-referenced with the calendar and event schedule on your website, so you have a master plan there. The resource section down here, we have preloaded recipes. We actually ask every new member to share 10 of their favorite recipes with everybody. So we are building our recipe database as we build our membership. The recipes are organized by two kinds of categories. So if you're looking just for appetizers and snacks, you could just find the appetizers and snack recipes in here. But what is probably most helpful, and there's all these different other categories here, the diet categories are extremely important to us, of course. So you can select any kind of category that is important. You can also select multiple categories at a time, which would, of course, if I were to select Dr. Wall and her blood sugar, it would only show the recipes that would fall under both categories together, so there'll be less recipes. And then you have all the recipes here. You don't have to, and I would recommend not to assign all recipes at the same time, but simply assign the recipes, some recipes to start with, and after the next session, they get more recipes. And so those recipes are all in the database, and they come with your portal. The guides is, we have all the handouts from NTA. We have actually redone all those handouts so they're all consistent font, and you get a complete set of those files when you sign up, and then you keep those on your desktop, and you can have your own guides as well. I mean, we don't say that you have to use the guides we give you. We just give them to you so you have a complete set, but you may have your own handouts, guides, files to give to people. So you would simply browse on your computer and upload them, and they would be in the client resource section. And the same with audio. If you have an audio file, you would just put that in here, or the video file, or an article. So these are basically, this is a place where you can give them all this information that you'd like to give them. If you want to share a YouTube article, you just put the YouTube article, how to make broth, you put that in the title, you put the YouTube URL down here, and you're done. Did you just have a question?
Oh, sorry.
No, I thought somebody said something.
I was muted.
Okay.
No, I don't have one right at the moment. I'm still soaking it all in.
You don't have one?
No, thanks.
Okay. Then let me just go through the last few sections here. The session section is where you summarize if you've had a session, meeting, Skype call, phone call. You just put new session and say, this was a strategy session, this was a follow-up session, whatever it was, you put the title in here, you put in the time when you had it, and then you can put an audio or video link of this event in there as well. And we show people how they can audio record online the sessions they've had, because the clients really forget so often what we said, and it would be helpful for them that they can listen to their recordings of their session afterwards and over again, so they actually have, get real use out of that. You can describe the session in words. Also, you can do audio, video, and words all at the same time. It's really up to you. You can define what kind of session that was. And the client, again, has a feedback section that you can't edit, but the client can. So you can get feedback from the client here. And as you can now see, this portal for the client is really filling up with really beautiful information. It is, it's where they have all your recommendations. It's where they have all the recipes and your handouts and the audio and the video and all the stuff that they keep, they can refer back to that's specific to them. And they have a whole catalog of recordings and session summaries in here, in addition to the NutriMeter, which I'll go through last, and all your conversations. So there is some value to that. And a client would definitely not mind paying $9.99 for this if they see, okay, I can keep going back to this, and I can schedule another session here or there. And you may say, for $9.99, you can send me messages. You may limit the messages, but it's something that you decide what you want to do. We have some members who say they will never charge for the portal because they charge for a program. So that's really their choice. It's completely up to you, but it is a great solution to give people little bits of information here and there and actually get paid for it. The NutriMeter is I wanted to have something that motivates the client to see, okay, this is how far I have to go. This is how far I have gone. This is how much is left to do. And we figured out everybody's using the NAC. So we are using the numbers from the symptom burden graph. You know, when you have the graph, you have numbers on the bottom. And you can enter those values from the graph, you know, upper GI, liver, gallbladder, all these numbers at a certain day to enter them here. Now, the first number you enter is going to be the number you work against. So that's the maximum number you can achieve if you are, you know, the worst off would be 760. And so we use this number, and then you see there is 201 points this individual can improve from the first measurement. And then the second time you measure, they're a little bit better. So you see you've already improved 46 points of 201. So you're already, you know, 40, 50, almost a quarter there. So that really tells the individual, I've done some work, but I have a long way to go. And so often a client fall off the wagon because they don't see any improvement, they don't feel better yet, which is what usually happens, but they see here that they are doing better. And so that's intended to really keep them motivated. The second element of this is the health tracking, and these are entries that the client enters every time you run a NutriQ. So these are subjective answers that they give to you, and these are 10 questions that you define as a practitioner. Which things do you want to track? And so that's why these are still kind of, you know, tentative. We put some in, but we left some empty. But you decide when you set up your website and your portal, you give us those 10 things you want to measure with every one of your clients. So we put those in, and then they track those. So you have another 100 points in addition to the 760 points from the NutriMeter, and that together makes your NutriMeter. So the symptom burden and the health tracking that you define make the overall NutriMeter. So that is yes.
Excuse me, can you explain what those numbers meant on the health tracking? You
That's
have
one?
the categories.
Yeah.
I saw your categories, and then I don't understand. Are those numbers that the client is entering about digestion and?
Yes. So these are numbers so these words, you know, digestion, weight, sugar cravings, mood. These are 10 things that you decide what you want, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And because we have some clients that measure blood sugar, we have some that are more fitness related. They want to know how far can somebody run, you know, so they're very different. So we want those to be individualized by the practitioner. And then the client gets to change those numbers. So these were done by the client after the first two NutriQs have been run. And 0 means that they have 0 is very positive and 10 is extremely negative. So between 0 and 10, how are you feeling about digestion? Between 0 and 10, how are you feeling about your weight or your sugar cravings, or whoever, you know, whatever you decide should be in this column.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I've gone through everything here in the portal. I think I would like to show. So let me just go to back to the basic. This is the NutriFair site. So what you see here is a kind of a vanilla website. We give everybody a vanilla website, or not even vanilla. It has no vanilla flavor. It's got whatever look you have here, and you change it into whatever look you want it to be. And we have, and I'll show you the templates in a second. I want to show you here are the functions that your website has. What are the things it can do? So you have an appointment scheduling system. That's where you actually decide what time slots do I want to be available so people can schedule the time. And then you decide, do I want to have the time scheduling, when people schedule, do I want them to pay right away or not? Do I want, you decide what you want them to do. You have an event scheduling software where you have a calendar and you say, okay, this day I have a workshop and this is free, or this you have to pay for, this is where you can buy your tickets, and so forth. So that's another software here. And you may not need all of these, or you may not need all of these to start with. You say, okay, I just need my appointments. I just need people to pay. That's all I want right now because I'm starting out and this is too much for me. But as you grow, you may choose to make more of these available, like the forum where your clients can discuss questions on the website. You can lead discussions on the website, and you can even design entire courses that are run on your website. The portal part I have just shown you. You have forms software. So we have about 6 forms that we make available to you, and you can go in and edit them. You can create new ones. It's really completely up to you. We just wanted to make it easier to get started. That's why we have designed some forms already. So resources, you have the handouts, you have a local marketplace. So these are simply, we have the recipe database, so you have all of that in there. The community is your own social platform. The blog is where if you wanted to run a blog, that would be in here, and the store would be in this section. And I think the store right now in this template is empty. Yeah, it has some sample products in there just so you see where things would go. But right now, there's nothing in there that we have for you that you could sell. So these are all your functions, and then you would say, okay, what is my brand? What is my logo? What is my URL? And we actually have a workshop where we help you go through figuring all that out for your own business. And then you, as part of that, you pick your themes. And we're working on the Joomla platform, so we recommend, of course, the newest Joomla templates. And I'm going to actually show you. I am just taking my own website, functionalgourmet.com. If you go to functionalgourmet.com, you see my old website. And I am, right now, I'm having, you see this very, very difficult URL up here. This is the working URL. They all look very similar from NutriAlign. So when you get your initial website, it's going to be a website that only you can see, you can work on. And when you're done with it, then you can publish it under your official URL name, and then your clients can actually see that. So this is a theme template that I'm using, and I have simply I created all my text, and we help our members to come up with what is it that you want to sell, what you want to offer. I've even redesigned my portal into I have to sign in. See, I cannot get to certain things if I'm not signed in, so I'm signing in here. And you can now see that the Nutri portal is it's the same portal that we showed you before with the different colors, but it can be custom coded into your brand colors. And again, we want to give you the tools that you need, but you make them look like your business. So that is, and then you have, let me just show you how I am doing it. So I start everybody out with a personal strategy session, and people then click on the intake form. Like this is the woman's intake form. And you simply start, filling out your intake form here. You go through different screens. Once you are done, I have decided that I want people to pay for their initial session. Some people give it away for free. It's absolutely your choice how you want to do that. And then they go to the scheduling software, and then they figure out, you figure out your process, but with our 30 founding members, we have kind of established a process that we feel or they felt is most useful for everybody. So let me look at Wild Soul Wellness. And I'm the one talking here, but Gert is behind most of this magic that you're seeing. This is another one of our members. You can very clearly feel his brand. Doug has kept this template. He did not choose a new template from UTheme or anything. He kept this template, and he said, no, I like this template. I can make it work for me. And he has. You can clearly feel he's an outdoorsy kind of guy, and now he's about nature, he's about physical activity. You can clearly see what he's about. So he has put all of this information. He has other services. He does laboratory tests. And other people have hypnotherapy, they have acupuncture, they have other modalities that they're offering, and there's absolutely no limit to your website. We've even had a practitioner whose husband has a flooring business, and he was thinking of buying a platform because it is so complete and it would even adapt to his business. So it is a very versatile platform, and you can really make it work for you. What is special is that all these things, all these different modules that you're seeing, the scheduling, the event planning, all of this is included, and you can choose them as you need them and adapt them as you need them. And that's what Joomla is really great for. Is there another website, Gert, we should be looking at? That's Palo Alto Nutrition is another good one, right?
Yeah, Palo Alto Nutrition uses a more standard template. Palo Alto Nutrition's template is actually a free template that we downloaded, and the owner of this website had chosen to get this installed by us using our services. And what this is a slightly older template, but it fits the look that this practitioner wanted. And the setup of this site took approximately a day and a half to get it done. Typically, when you get a template, you get the overall looks of your website, and it can be really customized to whatever it is that you want to portray yourself as, so that it really fits with your personal brand. And as with any template, what happens is because we have such a large set of elements and functions that come with this site, there's a couple of extra stylings that we either can do or that you can do for yourself. If you want us to do it, we have services that we're happy to provide to you for that. They're not free, but they are cheaper than if you were to have to go to your own designer and say, okay, we're going to start from scratch, and I want this type of website with all of these and these and these components. The first thing that would have to happen is that you would have to buy all of these components, get them installed, get them configured, and then what nobody ever tells you is that you need to style them to make it one holistic whole of your website. And that is actually a service that NutriAlliance can provide. Again, it's not free, but it is something that we can do so that you can make sure that you stay on track with your business and that you focus on your business. If you say, on the other hand, you know what, I'm really cool with designing my site and I know what I'm doing and I'm comfortable with all of this, then you have full access to all of the backend elements and all of the styling elements that you would need to be able to do that. As you can see on this one, it is a slightly older style template, but it is something that this owner really likes. With the new ones, the U-theme templates that we're offering, and this is something really great. As Uta has already mentioned, you get a U-theme Warp 7 template for free with the subscription. And if you don't like it, you can choose another one. So you're not limited to one and then be afraid that you're stuck with the first choice that you made, because 9 out of 10 times your first choice isn't going to be the one that you're going to stay with because you want to play with these. You just ask us to install whichever of these templates it is that you want, and then you go ahead and play with it. The advantage of these really modern templates is that the way that you can change your colors and everything, and that you can create moods with these templates, is completely a graphical experience. There is no coding behind it or anything. It's strictly a point and click interface where you can see the changes to the styling that you're doing, being the styling of the fonts, the text, the buttons, the backgrounds, and everything. All of that is really point and click, and then you make your selection, you make it look the way you want it, you click save, you click apply. I'm oversimplifying just a little bit, but essentially that's what it boils down to. You create your style, your color palette, your backgrounds, you say save, you go to your to the Nutri site, to the template, you say apply this style, boom, you're there. And then you can go on and say, okay, now I'm going to add my menus, now I'm going to add all the little boxes and everything that I want, and so that I can really build my product offering in a way that you can see it happen right in front of you. It isn't a drag and drop website like Wix, for instance, right? It isn't. And the reason that we're not actually going with any of these, or even with WordPress, is because the system that we've built our framework on is really a very nice middle ground, so to speak, between an overly techie thing where you need a programmer for every little thing that you want to have changed, which is what we don't want, right? Or on the other end of the spectrum where, any person can create a website with it. The problem with that is with these drag and drop interfaces is that you don't really can fine tune it to exactly what your needs are. That's one thing. The second item is security. With security, with this framework that we're offering, the security is really good without it being overly arduous. The security is such that we've put in the necessary elements so that because you are working with client data, we are securing that client data in a reasonable way. We're not HIPAA compliant because that is an extra step further on that you would need if you were going to work with health insurance companies and get into real medical items. And that is of a completely different nature. That's a completely different conversation. But the element is that the website is secure versus like a Wix or a WordPress, which gives you a basic security, but which is really easily hackable, which is what you don't want. And hence we've chosen this middle ground where you have a number of user interfaces that are either point and click, or where you have to set in a couple of things like your email address and your PayPal address and those kinds of things. And those you do need to set up. But once you've done that, you can go ahead and play with the colors, and you can go ahead and play with the backgrounds and everything. And say, for instance, that you've worked with your site and you've set it up, you've set the menus up and everything. As you stay within UTheme, those are the templates that we're giving you for free. With this, if you say, I want to change to another UTheme, all of the work that you've done before is not lost. You you pick another template, the boxes will stay in place, the menus will stay in place. It's just a different type of background and another different type of look, and that allows you some room for to play around with, so that you can find exactly the look that you want.
Right, and then all these templates, Kate, they all responsive. So if you were to look at this website on a iPad or an iPhone, they always adjust to the size of screen that you're looking at. That's probably more information than you need to know right now. Again, these themes here, there are other Joomla themes you can choose from. There's hundreds. We, of course, push you to, or advise you to go to a newer version because they just work better. So we say, look at the newer versions first. If there's anything you can get that you like, more or less. The UTheme has, the newest one is the Salt, and then the next, these are all created in 2015, so they're fairly new. These are from 2014. For my website that you just saw earlier, which was this one, I have chosen the organic template, and I started with this color here because it's very close to my coloring. I just needed to change the background. So that's how I started. And the rest was custom coded and just entered in the back end. I think that's the basic overview. If you have any questions, the way it starts with us, once you pay your initial fee, you will immediately be given your website, which looks like the basic website we showed you, this one here. And with all the basic functions, you will have access to to all of our tutorial videos and a few hours of time with Gert to set you up, or with our help desk to help you get set up. And then you decide how much you want to do yourself and how much you want to have someone else do. Most people start by themselves, and some people never need any additional help, and some people say, you know what, no, why don't you do this for me? So they would rather pay an extra fee and have it done for them. It's really up to you how you work best. And we also have weekly, like we have this weekly call for non-members. We have weekly calls for members where we discuss anything that's going on, any questions, any new ideas, etc. So that's once a week as well.
Well, thank you. I do have a couple of questions, but I'm wondering if my time is going to allow here, or if your time is going to allow here also.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
You guys are okay? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have two questions. Just wondering, in your process of your development, I'm wondering how it's going with your negotiating with people around product lines, as well as I'm wondering how it's going. You mentioned that different practitioners are having access to the information on this site so that they can look at the client that you have in common. Did I understand that correctly? For example, a doctor, can my client's doctor take a look at this website to see, or did I misunderstand that?
Right now, the way the portal is set up, that every portal has access to one practitioner and unlimited amounts of clients. Pretty unlimited, Gert, right?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. So there is, right now we don't have a third-party access to the information, although it is something we're thinking about for the future. But right now, because I'm working with a lot of doctors and their patients, and I would like the doctor to have access at some point, but that's actually with HIPAA compliancy and overall security, that's something we wanted to wait with a little bit. So right now there is one practitioner and unlimited amounts of clients in one portal.
Okay. I misunderstood something that popped up early on in your presentation. I'll just have to look back at that and see. I don't know exactly what that was. I thought it was about other practitioners that were working with the same client. But okay.
Yeah, no, we're not planning on that.
Okay. And how about as far as the products? How is it going with like how many product lines you have lined up that can go on this site?
I have actually started the negotiation last summer, but realized very quickly that all of the companies that we targeted wanted to see a membership on our site first. So we've kind of put it in the back burner for now. I have talked with Biotics at the conference, and I think Biotics is probably the second one we're bringing or we are going to work with. The first one is a local company that I know. They sell organic superfoods, nuts and sprouted flowers and so forth. They're the first one we're going to be working on. In addition to that, I do have a list of companies from members that, of products that they recommend, but I do want to have somebody like Biotics signed on first and do a test phase with them, learn the lessons with them, and then with that history under our belt, we can easily go to Apex and Green Pastures, and those are some of the companies that did come up. And we are not really limited to how many we want to line up. We just want to do it right.
And is it okay on?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is it okay on my website then if I did this when I created my website? Could I somewhere in there put other links to other places that I have found that are helpful to buy things at, just to link people there?
Yeah.
Is that okay to do?
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. Okay. It's your business. If you have affiliate codes, you can put those on your website. If you have, we put this local marketplace. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. The local marketplace is something that I envisioned. It's not necessarily a store, but it's where you want to refer people to this farmer's market and this restaurant and this mom who makes cheese and whatever. So these are really just helping your local community resources to be recommended to your clients. So this is not a store. It's just a recommendation to send people here and there. But if you want to send people to anywhere, anything that has a URL, you can send anybody to those. Or if you decide to put things in your store that are not in the main store, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Going to look at this, and it's a lot to absorb. But
it is a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It's an amazing. It's a great idea that you've designed here, that you're working on. It's a great concept, and it was great to hear a little bit more about it.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me know. Send me an email or give me a call if you need to know anything more.
Okay, great. Thanks again so much.
All right. Thanks, Kate.
Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.